Great. Okay, everybody, this is Vince with Listings to Leads, and this is our weekly call on Facebook advertising. So, a lot of you are new to us and usually jump on a call with us. Many of you, I'm not sure how you've heard of us. There's a lot of talk on the internet between realtors about our seller landing pages and stuff like that, and that's an important piece of Facebook. But our top clients not only run landing page ads, they run a lot of our tools as ads on Facebook, and they're able to build a brand and of course generate really great leads. So when you get here in the beginning, I'm going to we'll start the call with just sort of places to learn. But before we started this call, I asked everybody to kind of give me your feedback. How long have you been with us? Have you run ads on Facebook? Yeah. So yes, both. Okay. A couple months, haven't run any ads yet. Okay. 6 more months, just have run so-so results. Okay. Thanks, Ellen. Have few small response. Okay. Ran ads while I got away from it. Need to get back. Want to target seller leads, of course. Third webinar. Facebook 2 times. Have people look at my website but no calls. Okay. Haven't used listings leads 6 months. 40 solid seller leads in 6 months. That's good work, Chuck. Been 7 months. Facebook ads, limited results. Okay, so we'll kind of talk about. I always like to think of it in terms of limited results. If you're learning, the how-to, the basics are really simple. I mean, we're going to do it a couple times here on this call. But there is, I think, a little bit of an art or a little bit of thought that needs to be put into it in order to make things really work well. So here, Danielle said, been with L2L a week, ran 2 campaigns past weekend, 5 full leads and 30 partial. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Danielle. So what happens is typically, and everybody, thanks for giving me that feedback so that we kind of know what we're dealing with. The thing that people, they hear about landing pages, they're in a class, they hear, oh, you got to have landing pages, and you Google and you find we got landing pages, and you see realtors talking about us in our landing pages, and that's all cool stuff, right? But there's more to it because, I think one of the things that comes up, and I hear this every couple of weeks, people saying, oh, that is blown out. There's too many people there, and it's over. And as we can see from the notes there, people have been with us just a week. It's not over. If you learn this now, you are going to benefit from it now going forward. And I'm going to show you some other examples from our clients. But one thing I want to point out is right here on this homepage, before you log in, we have a blog down here. And we put in some great stuff. But you'll notice that we just put something in here just recently from over the weekend. And there are a couple concepts on here that you want to learn about. One, this obviously 31 seller days in 2 days, and seller leads in 2 days, and then 27 12 hours. What's this guy doing? Well, he's using our tools. He's writing the ads we want to say, and you can see right here what this language is. It's not rocket science. It's pretty basic stuff. Things are selling. It's going to impact the price of your home. But the one thing to note is he's running on a community page. So he's not running it on his business page, Vince, the realtor at wherever. It's Frisco area real estate news and tips. And you can create a community page like that. And I think that generic feeling is less threatening to some people. Now, I will tell you this. Some clients have great luck from having me, the realtor, the marketing realtor. So you got to test what's working in your market. This person is obviously enjoying a ton of success from that. So I see a question over here. So before I can kind of continue on, I think the free ads are attracting non-motivated lookers. Not true. Yeah, free ads. I don't know what a free ad is. I guess when you copy and paste, and when you copy and paste and put it on your business page, you don't really have a lot of reach with that, right? So here you'll see where one of our clients took the marketing letter that we put on the edit page of all of our landing pages, and you just click a button and this thing is in your email. And this page has a link right into it for free home values. So what our client did, and this guy, David Vanderman, is a TL from Keller Williams' office in California, and this guy, David's been with us for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. He finally found this letter, right? Finally heard it somewhere on a call like this, finally put it out, and he put it inside of his little, MailChimp thing and blasted it out to 3,000 emails. He got 14 complete home value requests and 13 partial, and 1 request for an appointment. So there's a lot of tools here to help you get leads. Here's 12 leads from 1 Facebook post using listing landing page. Different tool, but again, we're trying to get more leads here. So we're gonna, I think what I want to sort of spell out to you is that these tools, there are many tools to generate leads, and you want to use as many of them as you can. If you can sort of imagine this, I can show you how to target people in a zip code on Facebook. I'm going to show you that in just a couple minutes here. If you target them on Facebook with a home valuation ad, and then you target them at the same time with a print, direct mail, also driving them to the same kind of tool, you start to really build a brand and a presence in that zip code. That's really what you're after. That's what advertising is about. So we have a lot of tools to integrate with both of those, activities. Let's see here. What's this? How can I look if already I have a community place? So do you have a community page in place? If you click the home page over here, you'll see what kind of pages on the left you have right here. And if you don't have one, you just click over here on this page and you create a page, right there, and you create a community page, and there you go. All right. So that doesn't take too long. That's not too complicated. We are in our mastermind group. And if you're not part of our mastermind group, you need to get part of it, and you need to spend, I don't know, I'd say probably 30 minutes a week. Come in here and scan it a few minutes every day, because every day somebody is saying something. And, Kaji just put something in here 12 minutes ago, recognizing that she got 3 different emails from 3 different realtors today, and they're all the same email. So how does that work when you look like everybody else? Nita put this in here 45 minutes ago, said the link on the comment taught me how to run this crisp ad. So he's got a picture on top of the ad, and click it, and what's behind this is the landing page, right? And that's really, that's kind of the big deal. If I fill this out, she's going to get a lead. So there's a lot of our clients sharing what's going on inside, right here in this mastermind group. And here you can see the article that we talked about. And this, if you go through it even a little bit earlier, like last week, you'll see one of the agents talking about, here, first, thank you, L2L, awesome website, ran Facebook ads 2 to 3 days. I have 50 emails after 3 days, okay? 1 is produced a buyer lead and 1 a rental. Thanks, guys. All right. So people talk about what's going on, and you can ask them questions. So you need to get in this mastermind group, all right? Because the nuts and bolts of how to run a Facebook ad is really dead simple. We're going to do it twice on this call. But really applying it, really learning what's working out there so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can join us on these calls every week, or you can go here and scan a couple minutes a day, and you're going to learn a lot very quickly. So if you're not familiar, everybody knows Facebook, but I got to tell you this, because I set up the offices around the country. I talk to a lot of agents, and whenever I talk about Facebook, I don't know, what percentage of realtors do you think eyes just glaze back in their head? They don't want to hear about Facebook, right? Because they don't like it and this and that, and people are too public. I got to let you know right here, I ran this search about 5 minutes ago, and this is showing us that Facebook is the #2 website in the country. So in the old days, you could put your advertising in a phone book, in the newspaper, on a bus, on a sandwich board. But today, people are on Facebook, #2. #1 website is Google, but to manage Google is a lot more difficult and a lot more expensive. You can still do it. A lot of our clients do. Right here is some research from the end of last year. 72% of adults are on Facebook, not teenagers, adults. Your target market is probably adults, right? They are on average spending 50 minutes a day on Facebook. So you really need to think about what kind of strategy do I have in my business to get on Facebook, to build my business with Facebook, to brand with Facebook, and to get leads and to get listing leads and all this and that. Okay. So now I'm logged in, and you can see that we've got some articles here. You can sign up for training here. Here's a great webinar here with Neil Wolf, also does Facebook advertising. He's kind of an old, kind of new old timer kind of realtor. Didn't have a super huge referral base. He's generating 600 to 900 leads every month by using Facebook and Craigslist. And if you want to see what he does, click in there and watch that. Okay. Now, when you get in this page, you click around it. Here is a link right here. Click to join the Mastermind group. So what should you do? Click the blue box. When you do the first time, there'll be a button over here that says click to join. And then when you click that to join, we will accept you in, and there we go, right? So also on this homepage is Facebook advertising. And it's surprising to me. I think we need to change the name because it's not, people don't sort of get it that this is what's here. But this is the section right here that shows you how to create the landing page. If you want to use our IVR, it shows you how to present it and what IVR looks like there. But these are the kinds of seller landing pages that most people are trying to get their hands on. It shows you how to create it and customize it. Right here on step number 2 shows you how to run an ad, right? And it's not very difficult, and we're going to go into that right now, all right? So there's some resources right up front for you on what to learn about Facebook, right? Get on our Mastermind group and do that, okay? I'm going to click on listings, and I'm going to answer some questions. See some questions coming up. Yeah, there. Good. Yep. Okay. So one more thing, because we are talking about seller lead capture. We just made a change on our single property websites. Now, I know single property websites don't sound that exciting to you. And a lot of what we do doesn't sound that exciting to you, and that's why it takes you forever to learn it, or you just don't even bother to learn it. But for our clients who do bother to learn our tools, they start generating a lot of leads. And so you get automated tools, and what you may not know is that you can change the status from active to just listed to coming soon. And then, of course, we got just sold. And our clients are slowly starting to wrap their head around what what our tool looks like in just sold, right? So this is just sold, and there's a lead capture form that pops right up, right? I mean, you can delay this a few seconds if you want, but what do you want? You want the closing price? You want to get a list of similar homes? Give us your name and email. Or do you want your home value right now? Because you know the kind of people who are who are clicking on a property that is sold, many of them are thinking about selling their own home. So this lead capture form has just been upgraded, and I think over here in our Mastermind group, one of the people was just saying, I'll find it for you a little bit, that they're getting a bunch of leads because they're running these ads on Facebook as just sold, okay? So let's kind of follow that train of thought. Since most of us are thinking, how can I get more listing leads? Why is making an ad on a just sold property relevant, right? Well, there's kind of 2 points. There's 2 reasons why, and one's probably obvious to you. If you can sell a home, well, then you can sell my home, right? But the other thing is, if you can market in front of thousands of people on Facebook, and they start to see that you are a realtor, and they get comfortable with that fact, well, they're going to now be comfortable when it's time to give you their contact information when they want to find out what their home is worth, right? Because I don't know where all of you live, and I don't know if you're like the big, the big fish in that pond or a super little fish that nobody knows about. But on Facebook, you can take some of our tools that are very powerful in generating leads and look like a very, very big fish, okay? So let me point out the 2 tools that I'm talking about. And this is the listings page. All these tools are automatically generated. We covered this in yesterday's call. So you don't really have to create them. They're just here for you to use. But 2 of the most important things that our clients like to use is a single property website. We just clicked on one. It was just sold. But this is a coming soon, right? You see I got some Calypso music down here, and that's nice. Talking about Florida, that's nice. But coming soon, it's a mobile optimized ad. It's a tool. It's got a bunch of lead generation. You can find out what your home is worth, see other homes for sale. You can click on specific links that are maybe in your area that you know people want to look at, right? So this is one of the good tools that our clients like to use, a single property website. And as I mentioned, the Just Sold single property website has an awesome form for capturing seller leads right on it, getting people home valuations right there. The other thing that people like to use is the listing landing page. And it's over here to the right of Facebook. And when you click on it, one reason why people like to use it is it's a good looking tool. So when you're branding, you're trying to tell people you're good at real estate and marketing, you probably want tools that look good, right? And this is one of those tools that looks good. The only downside is somebody has to give you some information before they get to see more information. So what that means is they got to put in their name and they got to put in their email address. And then once they do that, boom, we drop them on the single property website. And you, the real estate agent, gets the lead. But the point is, with this page and the single property website, is that they're good tools and they capture leads, right? So that's what we're about. We want to make sure you capture leads. So the point is, yeah, I'm going to show you how to run a seller landing page. I'm going to show you how to create it. And I'm going to show you how to put it on Facebook. But you are going to get better results when you start branding in the same area, okay? Because there are a lot of you, I mean, I'm going to just throw out a number. Half of you will not do what I'm talking about right now. And if you're one of those people that does build the brand and competes in the exact same market, you're going to get better results because you've taken the time and you've invested the money to build a brand, and people start to get comfortable with the fact that you are going to give them a number, right? And they can start to think about selling their home. I see some questions here. Yeah, how to leave, please send a, yeah, okay. So Just Sold, what is your feeling on the buyer agent posting Just Sold? Yeah, Pat, people have done that. So the buyer's agent have done that. We don't really have anything against that. So there's the listing agent and then there's the buyer's agent. I think we have had many of our clients do that. Good to see you on the call, Pat. I haven't seen you in a while. So that being said, you could create the listing right here and get a Just Sold deal and put it out there. And that's kind of, that's the nature of that. Okay. So if you don't have listings yet, how does this benefit you? You can borrow listings. Okay. A lot of our clients, I've mentioned there's a call there in the beginning of with Neil Wolf. Neil Wolf borrows not only from his colleagues in his office, but from other offices. He'll borrow those listings just saying, I just want to find more buyers. Then he takes them and he markets them on Craigslist and Facebook, and he just builds a presence out there and people are clicking around and filling out leads, and he's generating just a ton of leads, right? So that's really what you can do. You do want to get some in here. If you don't, you can try and just ignore what I'm telling you right now and just go run seller landing pages, and many people are going to get results. But if you really want those results to start to snowball and you want to get hundreds of seller leads every month, I do think you're going to have to build a brand in the way I'm talking about. So since I don't want to bore you completely on this one, let's just jump right into landing pages. And let's talk about creating a seller landing page and running that ad, okay? So I am going to go and turn down this air conditioner. It's blowing in my ear. But in that time, if you would put in the chat panel what city you want to build this landing page in, we'll run that ad. Thanks, everybody. Sorry about that. So, what city? Oh, Hollywood, Florida, Montgomery, Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's do Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's do that. It's all the same, but let's just try this, okay? Okay, here's a good question. I have a very large area to cover and have marketed the Iron Range rather than the city. Now, I don't know what the Iron Range is, but let me kind of describe what that sounds like to me. Some people raise this question as, I'd like to market in terms of a county, right? and Montgomery County or whatever, right? And so that is so wide that the results just drop. They just drop, right? And I can tell you, like, I recently moved into Delaware, and I'm in a town called Wilmington. Okay, now Wilmington is a big town, kind of unique, urban, right? Like many other towns, but I actually live in a neighborhood called Greenville, and Greenville is very different from the rest of Wilmington. So if I try to run an ad on Wilmington, hoping to get Greenville business, it's not going to work. If I create a Wilmington page and target everybody in Wilmington, but it's about Greenville, it's not going to work. But if I build a Greenville page and I target the people living in that zip code, my results are going to get much stronger. So yeah, I know you run, many of you are in various parts of the state or country or other countries where your target market is pretty broad. You need to build separate areas, right? So we were talking about Charlotte, North Carolina. Whatever your area is, over here on the landing page, type in just Charlotte, okay? And click save. Make sure you spell this right and that you capitalize it right, because it flows through all the ads, okay? And once you do that, we'll give it a second to kind of bake here. It creates a landing page under every one of these buttons, okay? So when you're thinking of that farm market, there are many ways to get in that farm market. Of course, you want seller leads, but you know what? You also don't want to forget about FSBOs. So here's FSBO lead somewhere. Well, it should be somewhere. I just created it. Of course, it's not. It should be at the bottom. Charlotte. Okay. Well, let me show you what it looks like because I can't find it, of course. There should be, this is a landing page for Charlotte. It's going to have your banner. It's going to have, would you like some free marketing tools? And as they go through that, you get a lead, right? Then if we go over to the landing page dashboard again, we also have a Charlotte page under expireds, but we also have a Charlotte page for empty nesters. And we have a Charlotte page for growing family. So I want you to kind of focus right now, because this is one thing that confuses the heck out of everybody. Property valuation. What is the difference from property valuation, property valuation 1, property valuation plus, and plus 1? Okay? So property valuation is just a 2-page, give us your address, give us your email, and then we give them a thank you and a auto response, and you get a lead. Property valuation 1, as you can see, everything is on one page. So they can't go to the second page without giving you an email address. Okay? Some people like that. Most people don't. When it has the word plus, then that means that there's a built-in valuation in it. It's a Zillow valuation, an estimate. And you know how much realtors love estimates. So there is a plus and minus to that. When you run an ad with a plus in it, you can actually run the ad to say, hey, get your valuation here now free, right? Otherwise, you can't. And if you'll say, I'm going to get that for you, that's not the kind of experience most people want. Most people want to get their answer immediately, and they really don't want to talk to you, right? And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but you know what that's all about. Property valuation plus 1 means that everything is on one page again. They can't move to page 2 without giving you their email address. This can really kill your lead generation. But there are some people that just feel like, oh, I don't care. I'd rather have fewer leads, and that's it. So you can do that. So we got some questions here. I'm going to dive into something else. Will the area names I already created before this feature appear under all buttons now? No, Pat. That feature has been here ever since I think we built this page. So when you create a page, a city here, it creates them all here. If you go directly into one of these pages, it doesn't create them across here. So Property Valuation Plus is, I think, the best page. I also, not trying to upsell you here, want to explain what this thing is here. A partial full lead converter. It's an extra charge, right? It's like $30 a month. But what it does is if you get a partial lead, meaning just an address and no contact information, we will reach into the Cole information database and give you the information that they have automatically. Some of you have Cole information. You subscribe to it on your own. Some of you use Vulcan 7 or things like that. But that being said, any of those are going to work for us. We just have one integrated here. And with that, and even if you don't have it, a lot of our clients just would rather use Property Valuation Plus, right? And the reason being, and I'm going to walk you through this page right now. We're gonna do it. Is that it's designed to capture as many leads as possible. So what do you got to do? You got to type in 15. This is my address. Huston Road in Lafayette. Yeah, okay. So when you put in your address, as long as it's a residential address, I don't know if you can see, I got a partial lead already in my email because I got an address, okay? But this is how this page works. It shows you a picture of the home, and then it says, hey, is this information right? And click here to confirm if it's correct. This is all about buy-in, right? Think of this. We're asking for people's contact information without any buy-in. We're not the only company with property valuation landing pages. I'm sure you know that. But a lot of those landing pages are just like, hey, give us your contact info right now. That's it. And this one actually works really well because we've got a picture of your home. It's a 3-2, right? Does that look right? Great. Well, give us your contact information and we will give you an evaluation. Thinking about selling. Click for report. And at this point, I, the consumer, get dropped on the valuation. You, the agent, gets the valuation and their contact information. Okay? And then, of course, your contact information as an agent is down here in the bottom. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got all these tools that generate leads. There are links right here designed to capture more leads right in the signature bar, which is another one of the tools in listings to leads. So those links can drive right back to your website. So that's how a property valuation landing page works. Property Valuation Plus, all right? What I want to do, though, is I want to kind of point out, so now we got to think about why it didn't work. So we know that this is the tool that we want to get on Facebook, and now I want to start talking about why you don't get the results you want, okay? And it starts right here on the background page. Now, I don't think I've been to Charlotte. I think I'm going to Charlotte. No, I think I'm going to Raleigh to speak at a MLS in a little while. But I haven't been to Charlotte, okay? So what we need to do is we need to change that to Charlotte, NC. And are there any landmarks in Charlotte? Well, we'll just leave it. We'll ignore that. Ignore that question. Because you need to follow me right here. This is an important piece. Now, you can do this in other, like Bing and Yahoo or whatever, and I'm sure you can, but I don't know how. But you got it on Google. This is exactly how. Type in the city and the state like I have, and then click images. And this shows you all the images of Charlotte. Okay? And then click search tools. And when you click search tools, you'll see size. Click size and go to larger than 4 MP. This starts to show you the pictures that are big enough to fit in there. Okay? And then, what more? Oh, no. Usage rights. Labeled for reuse. This is so you're not using some other realtor's picture and then when you run an ad on it, they kind of call you and say, hey, you better stop doing that, I'm going to sue you kind of thing, right? You don't want to do that. So these are labeled for reuse, okay? And let's see here. I'm going to click here and I'm going to use this one. This is pretty generic looking and I don't actually like it so generic, but since we're just talking through this, I want to, we're just going to do this, right? So let's do it together. I've downloaded it. I come back to the listings landing page where I click see landing page. I click edit landing page. And there's a place, background image. Choose this. Put it there. Now there's one other thing I like to do. And it's right here in this landing page text customization. That's referring to this text here. See where it says get your answer here? I like to change that to get your answer in less than 15 seconds. Because that's what it's all about, right? There's also a letter here. And remember I showed you at the beginning of the call that there was a letter that David Vandermeer was using and got a bunch of leads, and it had a built-in landing page. This letter is right here. So if I click on it, it's all there. It's got the URL for the landing page. It's got my contact information. It's just set, right? I can send the email, copy it for HTML to go put it in MailChimp, or I can send it in my email and forward it on in Google or Outlook. Multiple ways to get that letter. But all I want you to do is change this, get your answer in less than 15 seconds, and get a background picture that's relevant, okay? So I'm gonna click here, and I'm gonna save an update. I'm gonna take a sip of my drink here. Awesome. So now, if I go to my Charlotte page, all I gotta do is refresh it, and voila, it looks like what I want it to look like, right? Now, as I said, I set up the office accounts around the country, and I set up a Coldwell Banker office in Summit, New Jersey. And we went through this, right? I trained the office. I said, hey guys, you got to do this, right? And this is how you do this, how you brand and all that great stuff. And what ended up happening is the owner or the manager called me back later, like, you know, a month later, and he said, Vince, I got to tell you what's going on. He says, whenever we run the ad with this diner, we get the most leads. Because this diner has been in town, it's on Main Street in Summit. And if you look at downtown Summit, New Jersey, I've never been there. It looks like just a downtown street, right? Big downtown street. It's not a big town. But everybody in that town knows this diner because it's a landmark. So I'm pointing it out for you to think about what's going to trigger your target market the way that this triggers their target market, okay? So we've got the right page here for Charlotte. I see some questions, so before we run the ad, can you go through the steps for a Google search picture slower? Yeah. Let's do that one more time. All right. Let us do Centerville, DE for Delaware. Okay. Right up the road here. From here, go to Search Tools, go to Size, and go to larger than 4 MP. Then go to labeled for reuse. It actually says usage. And these are the photographs that are labeled for reuse. They are the size that fits in the back of that picture. Then you just choose the one you want. You click on the picture, you click View Image, you click right click and you save it. That's a good looking image. And that's it, okay? So we've got the page that we want, and it's time to run an ad. I do want to remind everybody on this call, I'm going to put this tutorial on YouTube, and it's going to be on our Mastermind group at the end of this day, okay? So how do we get this on Facebook? Let's go to Facebook. Now, I'm not going to do this on a community page, but as I said, you can do it on a community page, and some of our clients are getting great results. There's a navigation bar on the top of Facebook. It's in the blue bar up here. There's a triangle pointing down. Click it. Click Create Ads. And when you click Create Ads, it gives you some options. It usually doesn't give you this. I have an ad blocker, so it gives me that. And this changes all the time. This is a totally new look on this page. It says, what is your objective? You want to send people to your website. Click that. Come on. Yeah, boy, this is totally new. I do this, I don't know how many times a week. This is brand new. So campaign name. You do want to have a campaign name. I'm going to call this Home Value Charlotte August 2nd. August 2nd. Okay? Because I know you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You cannot do something 1 or 2 times and expect to just change your life in business. You got to find the right thing to do, and you got to do it consistently. When you do that, you're going to get good results. When you're using our tools, there's not another company that generates more leads with online marketing tools and listings to leads. So sort of get your arms around what we're doing and start to consistently do it. And that whole long roundabout discussion means that you're going to end up with many ads to look at as a reference in the future. So take the time to create a campaign name. Maybe it's an open house in Charlotte. Maybe it is a just sold ad in Charlotte or whatever. You need to be able to analyze that after the fact. So there, you just type in whatever you want to call it and click continue. I see a question here. I'm going to answer the question because this next section is important. I am going to answer your question. Let's see. When you click send to your website, you mean send to the landing page or single property website. Correct. Correct. Is there any better time and dates to post ads or better results? I'm going to answer that in a minute. Why the Zillow name appears on the evaluation? Because that is the tool that we're using to run the evaluation. So you want to go here and create a new audience. Okay. Now I got to kind of change this. It won't look like this. I run ads in California too, but this is what you want to do. Okay. There are 2 ways to do it. I'm gonna, if you could, whoever put Charlotte, give me a zip code for Charlotte. But right now, I'm just gonna type Charlotte, okay? Charlotte, North Carolina. And Facebook shows me a little map of Charlotte. And it says, so we're gonna target everybody that lives in this location and 25 miles out. Now, you gotta think about what you're working with, okay? Like what you're geographically, where you are in the world. And is 25 miles out too far? Typically, I tell people to drop this to 10. So you hit that little thing there and you go 10. And that's when you're trying to build brand. When you're trying to say, hey, I've got an open house, I got it just listed, I got it just sold. But when you're running property valuation, you got to choose this one, current city only. They got to live in Charlotte to see what is my Charlotte home worth now. Okay, because otherwise it's a waste, right? It's not going to be relevant. So, okay, I lost my place. There we go. And then what's the other thing? People probably don't own homes in Charlotte that are 21 years old. So I'm just going to put a bracket of 25. You can also choose other kinds of demographics. I've got a bunch of music festival stuff. But you could say, I want people of certain net worth. And I want people that like Florida or whatever, right? But when we train on this, we only ask you to do one thing. Target that geographic area and block the age, okay? Hopefully I got a zip code for Charlotte. Okay, 28209, okay? I'm gonna do that, 28209. So you can change it by clicking the X over here. And the reason why I wanna do this, 28209, and I want you to really hear what I'm saying. For some reason, Facebook charges less per click when you put in zip codes as opposed to a city. Okay? And that's just how it is. All right? I don't know why, but that is how it is. You could put in multiple zip codes, but that's really and you can see that you can target a lot, more tightly that way. So anyway, get the age, get the area, get rid of this. This is excluding stuff, but here's what you want to think of. Placements. And you got to hear me right here. Try not to be distracted on your phone call because this will make and break your success right here. We are running a property valuation ad, and this page is mobile optimized. But as you noticed, it goes through multiple pages. Not many people want to do that on their smartphone. So you don't want it on the mobile newsfeed. You don't want it on Instagram either. And you never want to run an ad on the desktop right column. See if I can show you what that looks like. The desktop right column is over here on the right. This is the desktop newsfeed. This is where you always want your ad. It's in the center, all right? So there is a slight difference when we're running branding ads, but we're running property valuation looking for sellers. So this is where the placement's got to be. Down here, budget, lifetime budget. Somebody asked, when's the best time to run an ad? Put it to 60 bucks. That is your lifetime budget. It gives me a red mark because it's too small. And that's because they punched out the date to be like a month long. So make this ad, I'm going to have it end on Monday, and I'm going to have it start on Friday. Okay? So let me explain to you, because this is really important, about that question, when is the best time and day? Since you're new to us and you're not getting great results, my recommendation is the best time to run this ad is on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 20 bucks a day. By using lifetime budget instead of daily budget, this gives the Facebook algorithm or the Facebook platform the ability to place your ad when most people are there. So the question of time of day, lifetime budget gets you in front of the most people at the most time. Okay? Then you run it for 60 bucks a day. That's what we think is like the best. And you should end up with, depending on the density of your area, somewhere from 20 to 50 leads in a 3-day weekend, right? 3 days. So I see a question here. So let's take a question. If there are any questions on this section, let me know. Yeah, that's great. That's great, Pat. Thanks. Nartel says that mobile is really high. Yeah, I know that. But, God, Lord knows how long. I mean, just go to a Starbucks and look at all their people with their neck craned down. They're looking at mobile all day long. But we're talking about seller lead capture. Okay, we're not talking about mobile phone use. We're talking about you want to invest in a platform to get people's contact information who might possibly want to sell their home through you. I am giving you the best information that we have. I appreciate NAR, but this is what it is. Click continue. At this point, we get into the ad creative, okay? And this place changes a lot, and this is really weird, but I'm going to give you the basics. Try not to make yourself crazy in here. It's showing me what business page I want. As we mentioned earlier, you can create a Vincent real estate agent page. You can create a Greenville luxury home tips page. You can create community pages, business pages, whatever. And that's right there is where you choose which page is going to show up on. Then it says, what's the website URL? Remember, we said we're going to send people to our website. This is the URL up here. Copy that. Put it in here. Click this little blue bar and you'll start, I don't know if you can see it, there's some little wheels turning. Okay? And let's see, I got a question. We'll let that kind of work its magic there. Yeah. Isn't that too narrow? Oh, yeah, Dave, we were working with a zip code. So it is under 1,000 folks, and that is pretty narrow, right? And so, yeah, you typically don't want to shoot for a target that small. 5,000, 10,000 is fine. But again, if the area is beyond it, in that case, I was saying, give me a zip code. Charlotte is a big area. You probably need multiple zip codes. Or you could just run it as Charlotte, but make sure they live there. But that's right. You saw that, but 1,000 would be a pretty tight number, and I don't really recommend that. So there's some important things. And again, here's where I'm going to be talking about our mastermind group. Okay? Because down here somewhere, last week, I think this guy right here, yeah, this is the article. It's the same blog post. This is how he wrote his ad. 360 homes sold in Frisco, June. Highest price is $695. Now see what your home is worth for free. Thinking of moving, okay? So that is great language. This guy is getting great results. What do I do with that knowledge? Well, right here it says Charlotte home values. He put thinking of moving. He's getting great results. So try that, right? Up here, it said something like a bunch of homes sold, right? Something like that. 900 homes sold last month. And you know, what was the high? Free, you know, free valuation, free online valuation, right? Whatever you type here shows up above this box. And that language, I mean, we were training on that over a year ago. And I'm glad to see it's still working, because that's exactly what we're training on over a year ago. Another thing we have said in the past and still works today is click here to get your online automated home value in less than 15 seconds. This still works too. So there's a couple of things that people do, and you'll see them posted on here. That kind of thing. What this does is this tells the consumer that, again, they don't have to talk to you. Okay? They just, and you know, we just don't want to be doing that. We'd love to get our answer now. And since I'm hanging out 50 minutes a day on Facebook, and I'm thinking about the home value, my home's value, well, now this thing gets relevant, right? Oh, it's right here. I can click on it, and I don't have to talk to you, and I can get my answer in 15 seconds. Bang, I'm going. Okay? So that's the nature of this page. Other ideas that have worked really well is people will actually show a picture of a home, right? Even the backyard, the swimming pool, something really cool looking, and say, this home sold, was in contract in 7 days. And click here to get your free home value in 15 seconds, right? Because that's like a compelling story. Yeah, I'm thinking of selling, but I really don't want to deal with that big pain. You can get it in contract in 7 days. Great. This home sold 10% above asking price. Click here to get your home value now, right? Those kinds of ideas are what work. What many of our clients do is they copy the link and paste it and don't take any time to customize, and they don't really get great results. But whatever you do at this point, click place order. And what you're going to get is it's going to run the ad. And Facebook is going to tell you at the end, great, your ad is complete. And here are your analytics. And they tell you how many thousands of people saw it and how many people clicked. And they call it reach. Reach is how many people saw it. While there may be 30,000 people in your area, maybe only 2,000 actually saw it. Okay, that's the reach. Then it'll say website clicks. And that means that your ad got clicked on. They saw it look just like this, like we're looking at here. And when they clicked on it, then they got to the landing page. At that point, they either did something or they didn't. So one thing I want to point out is, again, for seller lead capture, you want people to click when they're in the spot to take advantage of filling out all the forms. And that really means desktop, not mobile. If you have a reach of 2,000, 3,000 people and nobody clicks, this is what you need to think about. Your picture is not compelling, or this language here and here at the bottom and above, that's all you're going to see, is not compelling. Okay? So go to our mastermind group and get some ideas of the kind of language that you want to incorporate in your ads. Get a good looking picture. This is kind of a lame picture, but we just went through it for the mechanics of it. I don't think I would really use something like that. But, you know, you kind of get the gist of that. So let's see the questions. Do I run ads for agents? No. Is there an autoresponder follow-up sequence for these leads? No. There is one auto-response, and that's it. And so, yeah, that's it. So... And I'm gonna just yeah. So that's that, right? That's how you run a seller landing page. All right. Are there any more questions? Because what we're gonna do now is talk about how to build that brand. We'll move a little bit faster. So maybe when you watch this again and how we do it, you'll understand kind of what's up. So when we talk about building brand, remember at the beginning of the call I said run single property websites. Definitely run those just sold ads, because now the just sold lead capture form is like awesome. And definitely you might want to use some listing landing pages over here on the right, because they're good looking tools. But I'm going to take this one here that is just sold in Arinda. And let's see. Yeah. So I like this because I got multiple hyperlinks to my website, and I got this right here, which just the lead capture form is just get your home value now. If I clicked on this and it's sold, you definitely want to be running just sold ads, bare minimum. Bare minimum, if you've got to run ads on Facebook, if you're going to try and get seller leads, run just listed ads and just sold ads, bare minimum in tandem, okay? Let's copy this link up here on the top. And I'm going to move a little bit faster, but please kind of bear with me. We're going to create an ad. And like we did last time, we're going to send people to our website. This time, it's the single property website. Okay, right here at the top. And this is just sold. So my campaign name is going to be sold Charlotte August 2nd. Okay, that's enough for me to know like this is what it is. Okay. So create new tools, not in San Francisco. We want Charlotte. Now this time I am going to do Charlotte because when you're building a brand, you're going to do business outside of Charlotte, probably 10 miles out. I would drive out that far for more business, right? So that's typically how I like to do that. Probably you don't want 21-year-olds. You choose your bracket. Get rid of this. But placement is totally different now. Okay? You do want to build brand on mobile. You want people to recognize that you're a realtor, and Pat is totally dead on right. Many people use Facebook only on their smartphone, so definitely mobile optimize. You're building the brand. Audience network, we used to think no. We've had clients tell us they're getting great results from audience network. Instagram, we don't really know if it's good or not. You might want to take it off. I'm going to just click it just so we can see what happens when we take it off. We definitely don't want it on desktop right column. You never do. And now I want to change that daily budget to lifetime budget so that Facebook puts it on the right time. But this time I'm only going to put 20 bucks. And today is, what is it? Tuesday. I'm going to start it tomorrow. And I'm going to end it on Saturday or on, oh, it's going a month out, sorry. On Sunday, because maybe it's an open house, right? So maybe about 500 people a day, 300 to 800, 500, 600 people every day are going to see this for 20 bucks. Over 4 days, that's a couple thousand people. And that's, you know, for 20 bucks, that's a great reach. Right? And people are going to start seeing, click continue, what's going on. Now you can add money and things like that, but you want to get good at this before you start adding large amounts of money. Okay. Make sure you go to the right page, copy and paste the single property website you want to drive to. And here again is that default language, right? That's like, you know, Scott and I just put it here just as a placeholder. This is not compelling. There is something that you know about this house. Why is it hot, right? Put it in this box. And when you do, it shows up here. Now, if there's a lot of information, like maybe a property description that you really want to say something about this home. Let's see here. There's a learn more button, which is you control here. Just sold. For some reason, I can't just sold in, I'm going to say Charlotte. I'm really doing that just because I can't see where that is. Should be right down here somewhere. But this show advanced options becomes in play here because here you can add more information. You know, maybe there's new upgraded kitchen and stuff like that. It shows up underneath the ad, and it seems to be acting weird. It could be my ad blocker, but it usually shows up down here. So at this point, you place the ad. So running ads to build brand, you put less money in. Not as many people click on them because you put less money in them. But people are starting to see that you're a realtor, or that, you know, your community page is really in, you know, it's sinking in. So when you ask them to give them your contact information, that's what happens. That's when you start getting more and more results. We've been doing this for years, and if you see the calls from all of our clients who get on the call on webinars with us, they all say the same thing. They have all said the same thing. If they use this technique, they will say, hey, I have people calling out of the blue because they just say, I've seen I've seen you all over Facebook. I know you're a realtor and I want you to sell my home. And that's really where you want to be, right? That where you don't want to be is just, you know, obviously we want to do the best to generate leads, but this is where people are 50 minutes a day, 72% of adults. This is, you know, there are a lot of people here. If you have a good strategy of how to build your brand there, it gets to the point where people call you out of the blue. Melanie Banks did that with us, Neil Wolf, and Shannon Pyatt. And when you're searching around on Facebook advertising in our system, you will see their webinars. So let's see here and see what's what. Do we have a class on pixels? No, we don't. Pixels. What about increasing followers on business page? On both, you know, let me tell you about business pages. This is our business page, right? This is our, I think, oh, this one isn't it. I'll show you. This is our business page. That's like a private group, right? This is our business page. And there were years where Scott used to just, you know, spend money on getting people to like this page. And it's just such a boondoggle from Facebook. Facebook was telling everybody, oh yeah, get more people on your page. We're going to make this your page. It's going to be yours on the internet and Facebook, and we love you and all that. But when Facebook went to become a public company, which is almost 2 years now, they completely turned their website upside down. And what people don't know is the reach of when you put something on this page, right? So this is our business page. And if I put in any great news right here about my business and it affects your business, I have a 0 to 6% reach, okay? This is the number that Facebook is giving their investors on quarterly calls. They are not in the business of giving you reach. They're in the business of charging you for reach. So that's why you got to know how to use this Facebook pay-per-click advertising. So Pat, I would not invest a bunch of money to get people to like your business page. You need a minimum of 25 people to like your business page to be able to use the Facebook pay-per-click advertising, which is what we've been talking about. Beyond that, if you just want to go do that for having fun, then go right ahead. But that is where Facebook is right now. It is an incredibly powerful advertising platform. We have clients who can use this and target snowbirds in northern US when they're selling condos down in the South, right? All that nonsense. So it is really powerful. You can get, you know, if you get on our mastermind group, you're going to see people talking over and over about what's working, right? And that's it. And you're going to see a lot of questions that you might have. And you just got to kind of get a hold of it. Let's see here. Wow, what's this? What about increasing followers? Okay, good point. How many? I don't know what that question is. How many? You need a minimum of 25 people. So do you post landing pages on a business page? Yes. Or you post it on a community page. As a reminder, since you probably weren't here for this part of the call, if you go to our homepage and you want to see this, because everybody's thinking, scroll down on our homepage. There's a blog post right here. If you're thinking about getting seller leads, you need to look at everything on here. And the big point is he's putting this on his community page, and that's it. How many followers to get to use pay-per-click? 50. No, forgive me, 25. So my paid ad goes on my personal page or my business page. Your paid ad is either going to go to your business page or to your group, your community page. Your paid ad will never go on your personal page. It wouldn't even, Facebook would not even allow it. Okay. You can log in on your personal account, but you can't do it. Can competing agents post on your community page? I'm not sure. I just don't know that, David. That's a good question. Yeah, it's a good time for questions, everybody, because I am kind of there. Okay. Respective. If you use a business page and a different community page, they may not realize it's you. Correct, Rhonda. If you're going to brand on any page, if you're going to try to get listing leads from any page, make sure you brand on that page. So Derek's saying you can't advertise on, so competing agents can't advertise on the community pages. And I kind of think you wouldn't, because it's that community page is tied to your login. Any more questions? I'm happy to hang out, but I will tell you this. I'm going to put this recording of this call. Hold that question. That's a good question. And give me some more detail on that question, Derek. I'm going to put this call up on our Mastermind group in the next hour or two. Okay. So Derek is asking a question about any suggestions with a team. So I'm not sure what that means. We do have a lot of teams that work with us. We have, discount pricing for teams and offices and all that. So when I think of teams, I stepped out of production now. Business partners, listing specialist. We have a broker, buyer specialist. Yeah. I think in that's a small team. And I think in that way, you probably want to market the homes. You can just have one account and market the homes through one team. Now, it kind of depends on what you're trying to do. Let's say you've got a team of 3, in some teams, you got a listing agent, and that person is just getting listings. They got referrals and they're getting listings. And they're just like, look, just market the listings and get all the buyers, and you buyer agent, you deal with all the buyers, right? But then you got some teams that are like, hey, I want to get leads and you want to get leads, so why don't you run separate ads? You might need a separate account for that, so that all the leads, so maybe all 3 of you are running ads on the same home in the same areas, but you're just all going out there and getting leads. So you kind of do that. Yeah, probably separate accounts. If you're trying to grow your business individually, you might need separate accounts. If you have a large team, we do have office and team discounts. You can sort of think of that. If there's like 4 or 5, it makes sense to do a team account. And then of course we go up into the hundreds. Expired landing pages. I don't really recommend any customization on it, because it does work as it does. You can edit it, but I do recommend that you use it, because everybody knows when expireds come down the MLS, Lord knows how many agents are calling, but there's a lot of professionals that will be calling that poor homeowner, and they may not want to be talking to any agents, but they might want more information about selling their home. And there's a good landing page on expireds for expireds right on that section. So when you create that Charlotte one, like we did, we should have an expired landing page under Charlotte, right at the bottom. Yeah, right there. So you could edit it here, but you don't need to. Best ads to run quick and to gen fast leads income. Well, Rhonda, that is a great question, and I just spent the last hour covering that. I showed you the 2 kinds of ads that you should run, and as you saw me run the ad, it doesn't take very long to do. Okay, so what's the difference between community page and a business page? There's very little difference. If you go to Facebook, it's just that a community page has sort of a community feeling to it. Typically, realtors don't brand it like they brand their business page, right? So if you don't know how to create a business page or a community page, you might be brand new to Facebook, or maybe you've had Facebook for years but never used it. You can come right here to create a page. Click this little triangle here, create a page. And it says, do you want to create a business page? And this might say me, top realtor at whatever. Or do you want to create a community page, which is down here? And that community page is, it's just less businessy, right? And that's why agents use it. Then you can put nice, stuff about the farmers markets and, everything going on in the community, but then also like, hey, get your home value now, right? It's a little bit less of a businessy feel. You should have both. And I would, whatever you're doing, I would test it on both because I'll point this out. You should definitely get on this call, get into our FAQ, and type in the search box Shannon. And you will see Shannon Pyatt, who's been an agent for a while. So when he found us, there is a great call right here. And I don't know if you can see this page, but it basically says the Shannon Pyatt Home Marketing System. And he markets everything on that brand, not the community page. Okay? And this guy is killing it. And he got it. So he was on a call just like us, just like we are right now. And while Scott and I were talking, he's like, you guys are so right. I've been doing what you're saying. And I got 900 leads from doing this, right? And we're like, what? You got to get on a call with this. So this call that you're watching or is right in front of us right now is him talking about it. And you'll also see somebody asked about conversion. We break it down on what this call talks about right here. This is a good call to listen to. And Shannon will tell you, he runs ads on all of his listings, right? He's not cherry picking, oh, I want to do the good looking listings or the ones in this neighborhood. No, he's running them on all. Now, I will tell you, that's a little bit out of date. That call is a little bit out of date because the prices have gone up on the pay-per-click, right? So it's cost a little bit more than when this was, which was almost a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. But that being said, he runs a single property website or landing page for every one of his properties. And you can imagine if you've got a few properties, even if you borrowed them, people are going to see that over and over. And then when you start lobbing out there for a few bucks more, the property valuation page, then it really, really takes off. I can tell you, everybody from Neil Wolf to Shannon and Melanie Banks, who if you go search for her, they're all growing their teams, right? Would it be beneficial to create a short URL to use in place of a long URL? Is this Neil? You got to be kidding me. I'm over here talking about Neil. I think I got an email from Neil as I'm blabbing on about him. That's a good question, Sally Tuttle. Yeah, check this out. So this is Neil using, and we're just talking live, and this guy, I keep telling you about, this is the landing page he's created with our stuff. And he just blasted it to me in his email. I hate getting this stuff, but that happens sometimes. So he created the landing page right there with our tools, and you can create your own custom landing pages, and then you just email it to us. So this is a good question. Would it be beneficial to create a short URL to use in place of a long URL as generated from the landing page? If you're running ads on Facebook or Google, no, it is not beneficial, and I actually don't recommend it at all. However, if you're running ads on print, then definitely. Now I want you to, if you're distracted with me right now, please come back. I'm going to show you something very cool. And we don't talk about it enough anymore. And Sally, let's see if you're in this group. You better be in this group because I've seen you for years, and I'll be upset if you're not in our mastermind group. I'll tag you in it. But if you go to photos and you type in and you go down here, there's a postcard right here. And this guy, I reposted this year. So this is actually not, I'm going to find it one more time because I posted that card last year, and there's some interesting stats on that postcard. So bear with me a second to find it, because basically the point is direct mail can really work for you, especially if you integrate a landing page like ours, right? If you just say, yeah, let's, if you want to do a just sold postcard or a just listed postcard like this guy here, and you can see this, I'm gonna type in Sally. You should be able to see this. This will pop it up in our mastermind group. Sally Tuttle, you're lucky you're on our group. Otherwise, I've been very upset with you. this is where you see that orchardhomevalues.com. He bought that URL, and that's easy to understand. And it's pointing to our landing page. So he's doing a just listed postcard on one side, and on the back side, get your home value. And you can totally do this just sold too, right? So if you're marketing letters, right, and you can see it over here, it says he put out 500 postcards and got 9 home values. Okay, and I know from this one, he prints these postcards, I don't know, a half dozen times every year, and he's just getting leads from them. So, whatever you think you're doing or what you were trained to do as a realtor, really look at leveraging our tools when you're doing it. Whether it's a signature bar, right? Or whether it's a postcard, or whether it's a letter, or it's a virtual tour, or it's a blog post, all of those tools in this system are going to generate leads. All right, so I'm kind of running on long here. So, I'm happy to answer any questions, but I think it's kind of time to cut you off so you can go back to work. Yeah, you're in the group. I use postcard. Hey, Lisa used a postcard and got tons of leads. Sally, I'm in need of something to send via direct email to all leads I've generated. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's a great question. I have something that I want to send because I got all these leads. I think a market report. Right here, create and manage market reports. And a market report, I haven't really built mine out, but my market report looks like this, right? And you should make a market report, and you can also click here on a market report, and you can say send email or grab HTML. And this market report is it'll send you an email. So if I send the email, it's gonna, oh, I see. What template? I'm gonna use this template, 520. You can also print it here, but I think it's saying that it's been sent to my email. So let's look there. That's pretty cool. Also, if you do a landing page like we just did in Charlotte, right? We did a property evaluation landing page, a really cool letter. Click edit. There's a really good letter down here. Copy the HTML if you're dropping it in something, or just view the email. This talks about homes sold, the home sold report. Now right here, I got an email popping up, and this email is what I just sent myself a couple seconds ago, right? The listings to leads, November market report. We keep it pretty simple because we know that people are not big into reading. There's some highs and lows, right, of the market. And and you can kind of edit that. The most expensive, there's not a lot of editing. Then it's got some pictures here, get the home details, and that takes you to you click anywhere here and it gets you to the online thing. There's obviously lead capture here, your banner, your contact info. If I click here, it gets me off of that email and it gets me into the online thing, which has even more lead capture built in. This is all, good stuff. So those are 2 really good tools. I kind of jumped around pretty quickly there. This was the homes for sale and sold report. And of course, there's valuation. So people may want to know that. They can also click here and see your reviews. They can also get other ways of lead capture here. So that's designed to send to your email so you can forward it in Google or in Outlook. It's also designed to capture the HTML. So if you want to use Constant Contact or MailChimp or something like that, you can do that too. Let's see. Where do you find those letters? Any direct? No, we don't know who does direct mail services. Sorry about that. Where do you find those again? This letter here, which is the home sale and sold report with property valuation. When you click edit on any of the property valuation pages, so you go here to landing pages and you go here to property valuation, which is what we were working on, and we go edit, we're going to see that those letters are right here. And we give you multiple ways of getting it, right? When we looked at the listings page and I said, hey, there's a cool market report. And then we just opened the market report inside of my Google Mail. I think it's somewhere here. I think it's right here. This is our market report for email. This I got to by creating a market report and then clicking print flyers here. And that gives me the options to get at that, okay? To make a market report is up here. And if you don't know how to create a market report, which are actually super cool, if you don't have listings, really good. click over here on tutorials and make yourself a market report. If we click here, let's create new market report. There might be instructions. No, so you can see I just click create. It's kind of got a pre-templated information. You just update the information, you pull some listings in. But you can use tutorials up here on market report and it'll show you how to do that. Bear printing is awesome for postcards, small postcards, 100 for 13 bucks. Well, that is great, Lynn. Thanks for that information. Okay, everybody. If there aren't any more questions, I want to thank you for your time and all your input. The questions and your input were just, it just made the call better for all of us. I'm going to get this up on YouTube. I'm going to get it in the Mastermind group. Bear printing. Yes, Bear printing. Do they have a website? Lynn, does Bear printing have a website? So I will shut this stuff down. Don't forget, become part of our Mastermind group and check it out frequently. Yeah. And Pat, we are adding stuff. Oh, you're in Westchester. That is like my new favorite town, Pat. I'm there once a week now. Who doesn't have a website, Ellen? Bearprinting.com. Yeah. Oh, cool, Pat. Shoot me an email. Get me in the office. I'll come and do a Facebook training. All of you should know that. I'm happy to come and do Facebook trainings if you're not, 10 states away. Everybody, thanks again. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Stick with us. Bear with the learning curve. There's a lot to learn because we do so much. Okay? Take it bit by bit, and we will be here to help you. Thanks a lot. Oh, one more thing. Forgot to mention. Contact support is up here. Everybody watches this. Put your questions right here. This is the fastest place, the center of this box. Everybody watches this mail group. So put your questions there. It has your codes, and that's just a really great place for fast answers. Everybody, thanks again for your time. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.